A Catholic advocacy group is preparing to sue the FBI for failing to provide information in response to allegations that the agency infiltrated churches to spy on Christians. Brian Burch is the president of CatholicVote, the great organization that is spearheading the lawsuit, and he joins us now. Brian, thank you for joining us this morning. You've filed a Freedom of Information Act. They've ignored it. What's the next step?
Well, thank you for having me, Rachel. You're right. We filed this Freedom of Information Act request over a month ago, and the FBI has just a couple more days to respond. We have not received anything from them to date, and if we do not get what we are entitled to by law, we will file a federal lawsuit in the coming week in order to get to the bottom of what exactly the FBI is doing, spying on Catholic churches, using tripwire and source material from Catholics going to Mass in order to inform on them under the guise that Catholics have somehow become a threat to democracy.
Yeah, no, listen, this thing is so crazy, and the drip, drip, drip tells me that there is more to this, and the fact that they don't want to answer your Freedom of Information Act that you filed also tells me there's more to this story. I'm sure you've thought about this, Brian. Why are they going after Catholics? What are they so afraid of? What is this threat to democracy that Catholics and Catholics who love the Latin Mass are to this administration?
Well, let's be clear. It's no longer just Latin Mass Catholics. The memo that Congressman Jordan received pointed out that they're now pursuing mainline Catholic churches. And the question is, and many Catholics are asking across the United States, is it still okay to be Catholic and believe what Catholics believe and still be an American? And, you know, it's
But what is the threat,
development.
Brian? What do you, I know you've thought about it. Why are they afraid of Catholics? Is there a pro-life position? What is it?
You know, I think it's a combination of things. I think Catholics stand in the way of this woke ideology that's dominating this administration, whether it be on the pro-life issue, since the Dobbs decision in particular, whether it be on the gender revolution, the exploitation of our children, or just the role of religion in general. You know, the Catholic Church is a 2,000-year-old institution that stood in the way and stood up to governments. And I think there's some fear on the part of this administration that Catholics themselves pose a problem for the agenda that they're trying to impose on this country.
They consider us enemies of their regime, of the state, but really of their regime and their policies. You know, one of the things that's really surprised me is the silence of the American Catholic bishops. I would have thought that they would be squealing about this. Even the Pope should be upset about this. This is such a violation of our constitutional rights of freedom of religion and to turn us into domestic terrorists somehow. But they've been silent. I have a few theories. I'll give you one of them. Maybe you have some other ones, because I've been surprised by this. Is it that they are in bed with the government? There are lucrative contracts for, you know, if the Catholic Church has with the illegal migrant population. They're doing all kinds of things as a nonprofit and helping there. Is it these government contracts that are keeping them silent? Why are they not saying more to defend us as Catholics?
Well, you're right. There are some that have spoken out. The Richmond bishop has, Cardinal Dolan has, other bishops has, and others have been strangely silent, and we can only wonder why that is. But, you know, you are right. We need to hear from all church leaders right now, because it's not just this FBI memo. It's a combination of things. It's the failure of the administration to defend our churches that are being vandalized. Over 300 Catholic churches have been desecrated, firebombed, attacked by vandals. And, of course, the way this administration is treating Catholic pro-life activists like Father Mark Hout.
Absolutely. Well, all Christians should stand together on this because first they came for the Catholics, then they're coming for all of you. So, Brian Burch, thanks for joining us, and thanks for standing up and filing that Freedom of Information Act. It's really important to America and to democracy. Thank you.